Hello everyone, hello again. So today we're gonna use the Live app and we're gonna go to lesson 2. So in this lesson, we're gonna go over some details about using the app. So for me, I'm going to show you how you will let the user enter their information. So let's say we need to create a page where the user will add new information. So we'll say add your readings, for example. And this is going to go to the vitals. Or maybe the users, let's say the users. So it's referring to the user, but I'm not gonna get the information for the user for now. I'm gonna delete this. Or maybe we can just, instead of collecting all the information here, I want to display on the name of the patient. So I'm gonna, when you hit custom, it will delete that and the years. So it's gonna be only the name and so this is the user number 1, for example. And instead of so I'm gonna add a form here where they can just edit or add their information. And so to do that, I can add a button. So and it will show the information. Instead of go, I want them to add. So I can use an icon for that. Let's say a pen, for example. So it's going to be an add and pen. So when they open this, it's defaulted to show them notification. It's the success, for example, or whatever. So if you add here, it's going to show you send, for example, but I don't want them to do that. I want when they click on this, a form will open. So I will modify the action here. It's going to show a form. So I will go to form, open the form. And it's going to be overlay. So to do that, so if you click here, it's going to open this form. And this form, I want them to add information, but it will go to the table that has vitals. So I want them to add the systolic blood pressure, and the pulse. And the date will be automatically added. The ID will be automatically added. So I'm going to remove these two. This is the patient ID. I don't need it. The date time, I don't need it because it's going to come automatically. So here, systolic blood pressure. For them to read it, it's going to be a systolic blood pressure, but the label, when the user what and then the other one will be the systolic blood pressure. So this systolic blood pressure, the systolic blood pressure, and the pulse. and it's gonna be like numbers. So they can add the number. And then submit. So it's gonna be listed when we go there. It's gonna be listed in the vitals. However, as you see, we don't see the date time or the ID. And to fix that, when we click on add, it will open the form again. Here, we need to add the user ID, unique ID. So if you click here, you go user ID. It's gonna be somewhere here. The user unique ID. And then I want to add the date time. It's going to be the date and time somewhere here also, current date and time. So the current date and time, it's going to go to date and time. The patient ID, it's going to go to patient ID. So if the patient has systolic blood pressure 200 pulses, 115, and systolic 100, you submit, it's gonna go to the data. So if you look at the data, vitals, it's gonna show the ID for the patient and then the readings. So we have the time, the readings are listed, and then the display, the whole information or the blood pressure only or the pulse only. So how to display that for the user? So we can create a table here with all the information. So it's going to be like a list. So when you create the list here, and to do that, it's going to be an inline list. It's not going to be this list. So I'm going to go add inline list here. And then this list coming from the vitals. So this is the vitals for all the patients. I don't want all the patients. I only want the reading for this patient. So instead of getting all the list, I want to filter them. So here we have options. So we can add the filter where the ID of the patient is equal to the ID of the screen row ID or the user ID. So this is the user, this is their information here. So this is the ID, this is the ID. And to display, we want to display, instead of patient ID, we want to display, let's say, the first reading and the time. So we don't need this, so it's custom. And the date time, it's going to be somewhere, date time here. And the image, we don't need an image. Yeah, so this is the first reading, for example. If we go to the data, vitals, and copy this to here and here. So this is the information for the user. So it's going to be, let's say, this yesterday, for example. So this is the reading for yesterday. These are today's reading. If you go to the layout, you're going to see here the table. We're going to see the table with the ID for this patient. And then this is the readings. I can limit how many readings in this list. When you click here, you go down all the way, you can limit the page size. Let's say I only want 2 readings per page. So it's going to be last 2 readings. And then if they want to go more readings, they can go to page 2. So they scroll down this way, or you can make it only one reading. So this is reading for today and yesterday and the day before, something like that. So this one way, or you can leave it empty or maybe 50. Then it will list all the readings for the patient. And they can search for that. If you don't want them to search, you can go to option, and instead of show the search bar, you can just click it and it's going to be like that. There is a way to add the information using this plus sign. So if you click on it, it's going to be adding the open item again. So we're going to format this is the same way. So instead of ID, patient and the date time, they don't need to add this. They only need to add blood pressure, systolic diastolic and pulse, and automatically we need to add their ID, so unique ID, and then we need to add the date and current time, and it's going to go to current time. So when they add information here, 210, here when 99, here 80, submit, gonna go to the data, and it's gonna be in vitals. So this is reading number 4. All this information will be listed here. Layout. That's how you record and ask the patient to add their information. And then you can list all the information in the app. This will be another page here. Add your readings or edit your readings, something like that. So instead of add, you can say edit. Something like that. So this will be, and if you want to be specific about certain things, we can change it to, instead of reading all, you want only the pulse, we can do that. If you need only the blood pressure, we can do that. So you can build page 1 for the blood pressure, page 2 for the other readings, if that makes sense. Thank you.